Hello, hello. Welcome back to Lizzie Bites Games. And now we know the sound is working. So, I think what I'm going to do today is check in on Starsand Island. Let's see. I love how they pose when you scroll over them. So, Starsand Island. Starsand Island is an early access game. I believe it released into early access early 2026. So, it's less than 6 months along, that part of its process. It was a fairly successful Kickstarter. I did not back it at Kickstarter because they had blown past their goals and didn't need my money at that point. I was a little worried actually that they had bitten off more than they could chew, but when the demo came out, I think it was um, the October Steam Next Fest, I played it and very, very much enjoyed it. One of the things that is true about a lot of farming games is that you just kind of have to look for one that you get along with. It's kind of like a self-help book, some people need a drill sergeant, some people need a helping hand, some people are really into the stats of things. Other folks are just okay, point me generally in the right direction. I'll figure it out from there. Starsand Island really appeals to me. For one thing, I love, 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 love the aesthetic, the art direction, and the design. The character design is really quite nice. Some of these lovely people could stand to have a cheeseburger or two, but I love the hair that they've done really well. The other thing that they got very right is the movement. So she moves at a fairly good clip. Some games you're stuck going, oh Lord, it's going to take all day to get from one end of. I was playing one demo and it literally took all day to get from one end of the village to the other. The Star Sand Island demo, I'm clipping along like this. Let me see if I remember what is the sprint button. You're that. I'll figure out the sprint button eventually. There we go. So I was moving along like this. I was like, all right, this is pretty good. This is fun. This will at least get me someplace. And then the demo gave me a skateboard, and the skateboard was key. Like I was like, I am booking on this skateboard, and it was really easy to navigate as well. I tried the little scooters that are floating around the town that you can rent, and I ran them into way too many walls. Mario's Morning Delights. I didn't even notice that was there. So yeah, this game was really, really, the movement was fun. When you get into the actual game too, you get rollerblades. Check this out. Isn't that nice? That's just so smooth. I even like the sound effects. It would be kind of cool if the sounds changed based on which surface you're at, but look at this, look at this. Whee! Whee! Yeah, I know. The movement in this game they got very, very good. The proportionality, the layout of the town as well, and the scale and proportions of things they've also gotten done a fantastic job with. I remember a couple, I think, of the early 3D rune factories where the characters would look just a little bit too big and too small at the same time. It was just a bit odd. Some of these spaces do have very, very high ceilings, but just about everything else, it fits for me. So there was a bit of a fuff that they needed to sort out, and they have gone ahead and given us a little bit of clothing in order to make up for what was going on It was part of the game. Ooh, submit to Ginger. Excuse me, give Ginger her star sunflowers. I am not submitting to Ginger. Uh, let's see. Talk. Oh, turn in request. There we go. Submit. Ginger is one of the crossover characters from another video game. I guess the studios are hanging out together or something. Yes, the cat. Yes. There's a lively set of NPCs. There's a bunch of tourists who just kind of come and sit on the benches and you can talk to them and stuff like that. One thing that is missing is a little bit more vehicle traffic. It would be fun to see some of the other characters moving around on the skateboards um or such. I do like the sprinklers. Big fan of that. I'm trying to grow the mega crops at the moment. Hopefully they're soon. I need one more mega pumpkin. And then they've done a really fantastic job with the animals as well. Look at these adorable little bunnies. I hope they have enough food. There we go. So we got bunnies. We got a chicken coop. We have a chick. The chick is cute. We have a fish pond, which is fun because then you can get fish without having to go around fishing for them. Although the fishing game is kind of fun too. We have cute little lambs. I need you to hurry and grow up because you need to give me the wool. I guess they don't need anything from me. Alright. Usually they're complaining about something. Alright. We'll work on that. Little glowing rabbits. One downside of this is the sheer number of machines that you need for the crafting life, so to speak. I need like a little machinery bay or barn or something. One upside, fantastic inventory management. Let's see. You can go into the animal byproducts. No. Did I sell all of the animal byproducts? I must have pulled them out for some reason. Animals, here you go. Sheep saliva, poop. I must have pulled them out for some reason. What are you? The seashell glow stick. Oh, I guess if you want to go to a concert, you can play with that. So, what have I got to do? I have. That's not going to happen anytime soon. That's not going to happen anytime. Fill the aquarium with 20 types of fish. We could just go ahead and go fishing. Plenty of money. There's an absurd number of little apps on your phone. Although I do like things like the star notes. This tells you kind of all of the daily tasks that you've done or not done, and you get little prizes for it. This one is a sort of direct line kind of thing. So the one you have to do these in order. Some of the others are very non-linear. You can do them anytime you want. This one you have to expand your land 6 times versus buy land. So if I come over here, I need 50K to buy land. I need to do it twice more in order to fill out my farm, essentially, and then I can probably go buy one of the other plots of land somewhere else on the island. That reminds me, let's go ahead and is this the new top? It's quite cute. And that would make you the new bottom. I kind of like that. We're probably going to go back to what we had though. Sometimes I hit the wrong button. Yes, there's a lots of different outfits and clothes. I've only started to scratch the surface. Oh, keep hitting that. These are the new shoes. Those are really cute. Maybe I will give this a shot. Maybe I need another short skirt. There you go. This is what I started with, the little crop top. And then there's a couple with little purses. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. There we go. You can do that. Oop. Oh, there we go. There we go. Apply. That's what we've got. Now, see, look at the little swish of the hair and the swish of the skirt. They did such a fantastic job with that. This is one of the reasons that I'm all in on this one. Most of these games, they have a lot of the same things, a lot of stuff that is very similar. You got foraging, you got animals, you chop down trees, you can go fishing. Let's see. Collect. Hatching. I think they're incubating. Add. Oh, there we go. Ah, let's do some tunas. There we go. So there's a breeding pond and a tuna pond. Oh, I have a cat. Where'd my cat go? My cat is named 404. There we go. Maybe offer him some food. Ah, fortunately, I have picked up a food. Probably was going to need that at some point, but we'll give it to the cat anyways because the kitten is cute. Play with your cat. Play with your cat. My cat does not rub noses when I hold it that way. Yes. All right. The bunnies are all visiting each other. Go find somewhere to fish. The one downside, because obviously there's always some things that can be tweaked. There are some things that are being tweaked. This is early access. The base is very good. It would be nice if it well, no, the base is excellent. I'm a big fan of what they've got going on here. There are always, little quest lines that are a bit glitched. You talk to an NPC and she's standing inside the desk instead of next to the desk, although there's fewer of those than there were. There's apparently some issues with some of the cutscenes not playing properly, and they need to work a little bit on the sound mixing for the cutscenes because A lot of the sound, the voices are much, much quieter than the, no, that's the emotes. Here we go. The voices are much, much quieter than the music, and it's kind of weird. But that's the kind of thing that gets ironed out during early access. It is not in no way uh, a we have problems here kind of a game. Are you more fishies? Yes. Here, fishy, fishy. Look at that colors. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Fishing mini game is pretty good. You do occasionally end up arguing with the camera. That is true about a lot of things. The building mechanic is not one I've gotten too deep into. Ooh. The building mechanic is not one I've gotten too deep into simply because I don't do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of decorating. They have what are called layouts, which is essentially they've already put together a house for you, including all of the furniture and everything like that, which is nice. It saves you from having to do a lot of the fidgety bits with the walls and the ceiling. I was not a big fan of the actual decor that they popped out for the one that I purchased, and the layout's a bit weird, but we can work with it. Better than having to start completely from scratch. I actually find their fishing minigame very soothing. I'm kind of plugging along at this point, just sort of going in, doing half an hour or so, and seeing what is left. In this sense, those meta apps that I was popping up on the phone are very useful because they allow you to sort of just have one thing that you can concentrate on sorting while you wait for some of the other mechanisms to kick in. One thing I will say about and I think I got off topic when I started fishing, that I really would like to see them not fix exactly because it's a mechanism of the genre. When you opt into the life sim, you sort of opt into this, and that is uh, the crafting is kind of non-negotiable. The crafting profession, I tried doing one where I really wasn't doing anything, for example, except farming. And I started hitting some walls where, in order to advance, I had to have more advanced machinery, which meant that you have to engage with the crafting profession, which means that you can't have to a certain degree, engage with um, you have to engage with the adventuring, not to a sense where it becomes full on combat and it's a real problem, but you have to defeat some of those creatures at least once to get to the point where you are finding the materials you need to build the machinery you need to build, for example, the sprinklers or to do anything else like that. So it's very tightly integrated, and I can't decide what I think of that requirement that you must engage with that in order to get anywhere. Because I would kind of be curious to see what would happen to a specialist run where you just kind of only did fishing, or you only did farming, or you only did ranching. And I wish there was a way to maybe purchase some of the other elements or get the folks who are the mentors in those professions to let you use or to if not let you use their work table, because obviously you don't want to just buy your way to the end. Maybe have you be able to acquire the more expensive metals, for example, from them. Where's that landing? Can't throw here. I need to be down on the rocks. There we go. Either to acquire the more advanced metals or the advanced items. For example, the fishing one said you had to have a certain type of bait, but you could only make that bait if you had the chopper 2. Well, you can't make the chopper 2 unless you have the advanced work table. You can't advance the work table unless you level up your crafting, kind of a thing. It would be a lot better if maybe you could buy at least one of the advanced choppers just to have, and it would take longer because if you only had one, then you couldn't do everything at once. Um, you would have to slow down. And I keep doing that because I've been playing Starfield, and Starfield is a different jump button. Everything is a different jump button. It's kind of like the USBs, and then there's three different plugs. The U is just not universal. So I would be interested in seeing if there was a way to uh, do more of a specialist run and see. Maybe it is just a matter of doing spending more time on things and less, uh, and waiting out certain systems. I don't mind being a generalist. I just tend to pop along based on whatever happens to be next on the list. But I am curious. There is fast travel in the game, and I did put a bus stop in here because this is kind of the furthest part away from me. Where am I? You must be the other active one. There we go. But even things like the bus stop, you can't build a bus stop without a certain types of metal and um, certain types of glass, and you can't do that unless you've upgraded some of these items. So yeah, I would like to loosen that up a little bit. So you have to get to my bed. I already had to replace all the doors because I don't like the swingy doors. To get to the bed, you have to come over here and you have to come up the stairs, which is a little odd to me. Maybe I should move the bed downstairs and then just take the top off the roof, second floor off, or maybe just use it all for storage. It'll be like an attic. And then if I need to come to a particular box, because what I usually do here is I pop off of here and I run over here and just jump down to where all of the stuff is. Let me think about that. I don't need a dining table. I could try moving the kitchen. See, it's kind of got this shabby chic kind of thing going. I could put the bed over here and put up a partition. You're not useful. The kitchen I could redesign a little bit and see what happens. Are you? Are you just like a screen of some kind? Whatever. Yeah, the dining table definitely needs to go. And then I could just run out the door and I'd be at my workshop. This is the starter house. It's quite cute. If you are into tiny tiny houses, then this is fun. I expanded it a little. You can see I didn't quite get all of the beams in the right way. There's a couple of holes in the roof now. I am waiting for this to get a little bit more filled out. In theory, some of these, I didn't like the modern look, and I wasn't a big fan of the classic look. I do like the countryside concept, and I'll show you what else I really like. I love the landscaping, and this is true not just in this layout, but in literally everywhere you go. They do a lovely job with all of the plants and the spacing. I kind of wish maybe I should put a different type of fish pond here. And I have to sort out my beehives. Here's my kitten. No, so I won't wake you up. So the landscaping around the house is beautiful, and the outside of the house it is well proportioned. I think it's just a bit odd that I have to go up the outside stairs, or maybe what I need is to flip the stairs around. I also probably need to wait until I have more layouts. The other thing that they were hinting at that I don't know if it's been implemented or not is player layouts. They were hinting possibly at community layouts, which I am all for. That would be fantastic. If I could get somebody else to do the fiddly bits for me, I would thank that person. That would be fantastic. I also do have my eye on this. I think when you open up one of the islands, you get more of a traditional layout with the doors that I like. And I may put that down. I may take down the house that I've got now and put that down instead. But we'll see. There's a lot going on here that is super fun. They have some fantastic quality of life things going on. Most of the stuff that I've not exactly complained about, but have pointed out, are things that are going to get fixed eventually. There's no, this is an early access game. It is about them getting a lot of those sort of quality of life and basic functionality issues going with this game. The other thing that folks have talked about, and I haven't talked about it yet, um, is the fact that a lot of the characters are a bit underbaked. A lot of the romance options just don't have an awful lot going on. And that is true to a point. I don't engage with the romance options in these games very much. The professional mentors have the quest design. Let's call it the quest design. The way that you move through the professions is very well sorted. It moves you from point to point really easily, and you end up getting to know them to a certain degree. They're beyond that, however, they don't have an awful lot to say for themselves. It's mostly just directly related to the quests. And I think that that is some of what they have been putting some effort into, for example, in the what is reportedly the new most recent update. There was an awful lot of chatter about that where they were saying, oh, you're going to get to a certain number of hearts and then you'll have the ability to go on a date with the characters and to hang out. which is nice if care about them. I guess, I mean, I have my preferences, but I just don't engage with that very often. So I can't really say. They are, I think, riding a bit of a fine line between making sure there's enough for people to do and not putting all of the story in early access. This is something that I suspect a lot of games have to negotiate during early access. I see that also with, for example, The Last Caretaker, which is another early access game that I'm following. A couple of the others that I've played the demos for and have said they're going into early access have had signs of the same thing. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to deal with. If it bugs you, the answer is to wait until the full release. Because you're going to end up going round and round and round with, oh, I wish the characters had more to say for themselves. Well, that's kind of what you bought into at that point. Um, yeah, but then I also think it's on the developer to, have their ducks in a row before they get into these situations, to be aware of that. If what they have pitched this at is primarily this sort of friendship, companionship, story based, then that's what folks are going to be looking for when they buy in. And if you need them to buy in order to get the rest of the development time funded, then you're going to want to have that ready to go at some point and not just leave people dangling, because they will not thank you for that. But then different people, like I say, come to these games with different goals. I come to it for sort of a pleasant, repetitive grind. I come to it for half an hour to an hour on my Steam Deck. It plays very well on the Steam Deck. Um, I do very much enjoy just, an hour or so in bed before I roll over and fall asleep kind of a game. It's good for that. I don't know if it's verified or playable or marked, but I've been playing it on the Steam Deck nonstop. So I'm going to go with it's actually quite good on the Steam Deck. And so this game really is fitting my needs for what I want out of it. I want something pleasant. I don't want to get too stuck in any one particular area. I want this lovely, lovely artwork. I do like pixel art well enough in concept, but give me some nicely proportioned cartoon figures, and that's my jam. I'm happy with that. A bit more than I am when it comes to pixel art. Ooh, I have fish in here too. Oh yeah, there's a capybara you can befriend. Do you want food? But see, I don't have any food. And I lost track of which machine was required to make the food. I'm sorry, Gabe. You're gonna have to wait. Because the fish traps are kind of fun too. They're less time consuming. This is what I mean by quality of life. They do a good job of building in some of this stuff. Example, we can just hop down to the aquarium for 10 gold. There we go. Go take the aquarium some more fish. Refill. All right, add in batch. Auto select. I don't think I have anything it wants. Oh no, I have a few. All right. So I'm pecking away at that. I could make a list and go one by one and make sure I have one of everything, but I can't be bothered. 15 out of 20, that's cool. All right, leaf fish, pale chub, tuna. Good that I'm breeding tuna then. Glass blood fin. I look them up in the thing and see where I need to go to get those, but this is an oddly empty space. I don't know, am I supposed to bring my own aquariums? What happens if I do this? Can I put down an aquarium here? No, I can't. It won't let me put down my own aquarium. I wonder if there's something else that's supposed to be going in here at some point. Or maybe it's just a roller rink. Maybe that's what he's up to. Delphin, who just sort of humps every time you talk to him. I can see what they mean about needing to work on the dialogue a bit with these characters because you walk up to one guy and he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" I was like, "I'm sorry." Pardon me. On another one, you walk up to him and he's like, "Fine, here's your 1,000 gold pieces." Uh, am I running a protection racket? Is that what's going on here? This is a wish list item in terms of new things I wish they'd add to the game, but a little bit more traffic on the roads would be a lot of fun. But I can only imagine it would be an absolute nightmare to program. Oh, here we go. Here's Aurelius. Aurelius. Yes, it's me. Take 2,000 coins. Now, if you'll excuse me. Did you have somewhere else to be? What is it you wanted to discuss? Do I have any flowers I can give him? Flowers are good to give people. Um, Passion fruit. I'll give you a dragon fruit. There you go. This gift is pretty good. Chat. My inventory is yours if you need it. He gave me a sea urchin. That's kind of him. All right, that's about all we can do. See? It's things like that where I can see, yeah, I can understand why you are a bit underwhelmed by the options, so to speak. Ooh, you look fun. Oh, Nuna. Oh, good. They got her some pants. Oh, that's fantastic. I was so worried about her. She had a mini skirt on for the longest time, and I'm sorry, but she's if her whole thing is that it's that she's riding a motorcycle around. She is not wearing a mini skirt. That is no, unacceptable.
See ya.
All right, I'm more tolerant of you now. What I want to do is I want to see if I go up to the temple. I always get lost on my way to the temple. And so maybe what needs to happen is I need to build a bus stop up there. So yeah, things like that where somebody just came through and made a little pass at something that's still a little obvious if we're really getting down to it. That's the lake. It is quite pretty. Some of the I've scared that. Some of the stuff has shown people floating around on those rafts. I think that over there is a piece of land that you can buy eventually. And then when you get on the raft, maybe you could ride it over to your front door, kind of a thing. I'm guessing that would be really neat. But what we need to do is we need to I'd love to be able to go in here. See, this is the kind of house that I want on my little farm. It's this sort of little traditional space. It's very simple. I probably need to expand around until I can find the thatch house or something. Hey, Zeph. We need to go up the mountain ahead and see about a bus stop by the temple, which sounds counterintuitive, but it is such a drag to get up here. There's got to be one around here somewhere, right? This just goes around the lake. Yeah, so this is the kind of game that I like to just sort of tap about in, see what's what, play for a little while and save and back out again. You are that other temple that I can't get inside of, Bastrom Heights. Okay. Maybe where's the map? Where am I? All right, this is Yufeng's house. There we go. That's what I want. Cloudrest Lake. So the back end of Cloudrest. Oh, there's a bridge over there. All right. So, oh, jump. What we got here? I want to build a more convenient bus stop. And aha, here we go. This is what I wanted. Building the station requires... All right, I'm going to have to go make those things because I don't have... And you have to have them all at once, so we're just going to have to rollerblade home and then see. This is neat. This must open up once you purchase the area, maybe? That's cool. Again, look at the aesthetics and the design of the spaces. Absolutely lovely. There was a point where I didn't want to cut down any of the trees because they were so pretty and they were so well laid out. It wasn't just like I will now plonk a tree into this pixel box and tomorrow I plonk down two more and after that you're on your own. It really was very, very nicely designed, beautifully designed. They've got that. In terms of that, absolutely lovely. Are you choppable? Pickable. Ooh, I have lotus leaves. How pretty. All right, so I need to go back and build my bus stop. And that's what I'm going to go do. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I said check in rather than review because honestly, y'all are grown. You're going to know just from the footage whether this is the kind of game that's going to appeal to you or not. You don't really need me to tell you that. If you like pleasantly cozy grindies, if you like crafting, farming, fishing, ranching, and adventuring, if it is early access, so if early access annoys you, by all means, take a step back, wait for it to finish. It will eventually. They seem to be hitting their milestones and getting the things together that they said they were going to. Um, yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I was trying a lot of the others, like well, Stardew Valley I kind of burned out on. Sunhaven was cute, but let me down in a couple areas. And nothing that's on. They've expanded that game in a fantastic way. I mean, from what I've seen of where it started to where it is now, they've really worked their butts off, and I'm very impressed by it. But I wasn't really feeling it after a while. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's nice. We'll see. We'll see. We'll drop back into that at some point. This one, though, I think is where we're at for the moment. That is where we'll leave this. Pleasant, very well put together for what it is at this stage in its development. Looking forward to seeing what happens. I do hope they have the character designs are so nice that I do hope that they manage to take another some more passes at the story and get that out there, um, so that we can get a good sense of the full picture of this game and not just the excellent mechanics of it. A little less mechanical, a little bit more touchy feely, maybe, although maybe not too touchy. Yeah, so I approve of this game. I like this game. I am enjoying this game. I will go off now and pet my rabbits. And I will say thank you for watching. Bye.